Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is all about shoes, specifically 5 brands which have kind of popped up on my radar, I would say, over the last year or two. Brands that I find that I'm shopping with, and I kind of just wanted to share them with you guys. Some of them I will have spoken about before, some of them I'll have spoken about a lot before, some of them you might not have heard me talk about ever because they may be new to my radar. So I'm going to start off with brand number 1, and that is Dear Francis. So I stumbled upon DF, I would say, towards the beginning of last year. And it's one of those brands which I discovered actually via Pinterest. There was a really viral, I suppose, image going around of Jessie Bush with a pair of spirit boots, which are here from Dear Francis, and a pair of like raw hem light wash jeans. And this image went viral. I've got it pinned on so many of my Pinterest boards, and I remember seeing this all over Pinterest and probably on Instagram, and I saw those boots and I was like, wow, they are some nice boots. And I kind of did a bit more investigating into the brand, had a look at the site, stalked their Instagram, and very quickly fell in love. To the point which now I have 3 pairs of Dear Francis boots, including the spirit boots, which are here, very, very classic. So I've got 3 pairs of boots, 3 pairs of what I would call flat sandals. These are the wrap sandals. These are one of the new styles for this season. They are insane. In fact, I've actually got on my feet the tie slides, which as you can see are a bit worse for wear, but I love them. And when I met with Jane, who is the founder and the designer, she said to me, I like to design shoes that are like clouds for your feet. And that's such an accurate description because that is exactly what they feel like. But I just find that they are incredibly comfortable shoes, and they're also very chic and very classic and, well, quite minimal, I suppose. And that's one of the key things that she really looks at in terms of her design. She wants shoes to be modern, to be wearable, and also, or probably most importantly, to be comfortable. Now, they're also focused on ethical production, which I think is great and something which is really important to look at when you're kind of thinking about investing in a brand. There's lots of information in their website, so I'll leave all the links down below in the description box for you guys to see. I do have a few pairs of gifted styles from Dear Francis, but I also have a fair few that I have purchased myself with my own money. Because I obviously want to support the brand. I really believe in the brand. And again, I'll make sure that everything that's gifted is clearly marked down below in the description box for you guys, just, you know, with full transparency in mind. Now, prices range from £245 to £715 for like the knee-high boots. And I think it's actually worth the money. I know they're very, very premium price tags, but I can definitely vouch for the quality, for the comfort, and for the longevity. I mean, these tie slides have gone everywhere with me. They've taken an absolute battering and they are still going strong. I'm going to have those for years. Now, what I wanted to mention about each of these brands that I've got coming up is the shipping policy and returns policy for each of the websites. So I'm not actually familiar with any stockists, like external stockists of Dear Francis. However, I personally purchase all my Dear Francis shoes and boots directly from them and their website because they offer free express shipping, not only to us here in the UK, which is next day delivery, by the way, but worldwide, and free returns. The only thing to bear in mind is if you're outside the EU, you will get some customs charges, but that's unavoidable. Brand number 2 on the list is Flattered. Now, they are a Scandi brand based in Stockholm. I believe they were founded, established, whatever word you want to use, in 2013, but I discovered them around summer 2017. So I have 2 pairs of shoes from Flattered. I have these suede sort of slide-on summer sandals, which are beautiful. They've got this really big gold sort of metal detail in the middle there. And then I have these. So these are from the Anouk Eve collection. I will link her down below if you don't already follow her. So these are just a cute little mule slide on with a little kitten heel. They are made of like a black grosgrain. These are really comfortable, really chic, and really good for wearing with a pair of jeans or even quite a nice workwear shoe. They've also done a collaboration with Jessie Bush and I believe with someone else, but I can't remember who it is. But again, I've said I'll leave all the links and stuff down below to these websites in the description box so you guys can check them out for yourselves. Now, the good thing about Flattered is that they do focus quite a lot on sustainability, and this stretches to their packaging as well. So they use recycled paper or recycled cardboard boxes. They use absolutely no glue or other form of adhesive, which means that that does not interfere with the recycling process when you then want to recycle the shoe box. They use a water-based ink to print their logo on the boxes as well. So again, no interference in the recycling process. And the dust bag that you receive with your pair of shoes is organic and it's certified organic cotton. Now they also have a really good range of vegan shoes as well. If there's any vegans out there, you can tell which ones are vegan because I think they actually have vegan in the title on the website, and they also have a little V on the insole. And they've got quite a few styles to choose from. All of the non-vegan shoes, at least 50% of them are chrome free. So it does say on their site that they don't use chrome in the tanning process of their leather. I would probably have to do a little bit more digging to see if there is any chrome used along the rest of the process, because I know when it comes to sustainability, there are a few grey areas, so I would have to do a little bit more investigation, but I think just as a starting point, that's really good. And obviously looking at their packaging as well, you can see that they're making an effort in terms of sustainability. In terms of the shoes themselves, I just think they're made really well. These I've had for a couple of years now, and although they probably weren't my most practical colour choice, they're actually really holding up quite nicely. There's not a great deal of dirt on those, and of course I live in London, so if I go anywhere near a tube, my feet are often black. These are really comfortable as well. They've got a nice slightly padded insole in there, and again, I think not quite on the same level as luxury as Dear Francis, but I think making shoes that are made to last is another factor of Flattered as a brand. And again, in terms of shipping, Flattered also offer free worldwide shipping and returns, but again, obviously you're going to have those customs fees if you are outside the EU. Moving on to brand number 3. I have mentioned Veja probably in every single video I've ever made, or I've at least been wearing Veja in every single video for about the last year, I think. They were actually founded in 2005, but I was late to the party and didn't discover them until about 2018. So it was last year, I would say towards the beginning of the year, that I started noticing them pop up on Instagram here and there, but I didn't actually invest in my first pair until later on in the year, and then I'm so glad I did, because since then my collection has grown and I now have 6 pairs. I know that might be a bit excessive, and as Vasia is a sustainable brand, 6 pairs probably isn't the most sustainable, but if, like me, you love fashion for one and also wear trainers a lot, Veja is the best way to go. Now, why do I love Veja so much? Well, as I just mentioned, they are a sustainable brand, and I just think they take sustainability to the next level. You guys have probably heard about greenwashing, and when I met with Jordan last week, he's the founder from Boys Jeans, you might have seen me talking about him in the last vlog, he had a whole world of knowledge. I mean, sustainability is his area of expertise, sustainability in denim, of course. And he told me so much information, and he bashed a few brands that are apparently sustainable. I'm not going to tell you guys which, because I feel like this is for another video for another time, but he did praise Veja, and I think that for me was really important, because I'm heavily 6 pairs invested into this brand. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about comfort and a bit about sizing because that's a very, very frequently asked question from you guys. So these are the Novas, but I also have the Watas, which are here. I have 2 pairs of Watas. I've actually just cleaned my other pair, which have got the sort of cream or white coloured V. So that's actually another video which went up on my IGTV on Thursday this week, so you can check that out, and that is how to turn your white trainers that get a bit grubby back to being white again. So even if you've got an old pair of Converse that you're going to keep wearing until they fall apart, my cleaning tricks will work on those as well. But the sizing for all of Veja's trainers I find are universal, they're the same. So they make only whole sizes, they don't make half sizes. But if you're a half size like me, I'm a 40.5, I would definitely recommend going up to the nearest whole size. I bought my first pair of Vejas. I'm gonna literally have a lap full of Vejas in a minute. This is how obsessed I am. So these are the V10s. I bought these were my first ever pair. I now have 2 pairs of V10s. But I bought those last year, can't remember, maybe autumn, end of summer, autumn time. And I bought them in a 40. And I got them, tried them on. They were a bit tight, but I thought, oh, it will be fine. And actually they are a bit snug. I've managed to stretch them out a little bit with shoe stretchers, so they now feel much more comfortable. But then my second pair of V10s, which I think are on that shelf just behind me, those are a 41 and they feel so much more comfortable. Admittedly, they're a little bit big, but when I put a sock on, it's fine. And I'd rather them be a little bit too big than a bit too small. But comfort factor, and this is something which I know there's a lot of debate about when it comes to Veja as a brand. These canvas styles are the more comfortable style. So the Watas, I bought 2 of these in preparation for my trip to Japan, which was back in March, and they were so comfortable, didn't need breaking in at all, really, really comfortable. It was the pair with the white V that I wore in Japan, and I wore those every single day for 10 days. I also wore them every single day on our recent trip to Paris, so that's why they're in every single photo that I took in Paris. They're just really comfortable. However, if we're going to go back to the V10s, the issue with any of the leather styles, so the V10s, the Esplars, I think there's one called a V-Lock, which are the Velcro ones. The issue with them is the tongue. So you might be able to see, if you've never tried a pair on before, you can see that the tongue is actually quite long, and this is the bit that causes irritation. So it tends to rub, and I have had this happen to me. I find that it rubs for like the first 4 to 6-ish wears. I know it's quite specific, but that's what I found. To combat that, when I buy a new pair of the leather style, I just pop a bit of Vaseline on sort of my ankle kind of area of my foot, just so that it stops any friction. You can also get a Compeed blister stick, which works equally as well. The 4th brand that has crept its way onto my shoe radar is Byfar. These are my only pair of shoes. Byfar is a shoe and accessories brand, so they also have handbags. I have 2 of the handbags, but these are my only pair of shoes thus far. So these are the Tanya heels. I've actually yet to wear them outside. I've only worn them inside. But I wanted to try these, only bought them a few weeks ago, and I just really like the aesthetic and the vibe of Byfar. They describe themselves as being a contemporary women's brand with a nostalgia for vintage, and I think that's very accurate to describe their own brand that way. I was just talking about this brand actually to Jordan from Boyish Jeans. I swear I'm not obsessed with him. Okay, I borderline am obsessed with him, but I'm just gonna say I'm not obsessed with him so that Simon knows that I am not obsessed with him. But I was talking to him about Byfar because we were talking about Friends and how we all love Friends. And actually a lot of their styles are inspired by the cast of Friends. So they have the Rachel bag, which is that little baguette. These are called Tanya, which I know there wasn't a Friends member called Tanya, but It's this very kind of 90s nostalgia style, which I love. They are another European-based brand, and price range we're looking at between £285 to I think it's about 410, and that's in pounds, so I'm not sure what that equates to in euros. It's probably not far off, seeing as it's quite weak at the moment. However, if you're purchasing direct off the Byfar website, which I wouldn't advise you do, sorry Byfar, but I just wouldn't, because the shipping charge to the UK, I believe, is 18 euros, to anywhere else in the world, 25 euros. Then if you want to return, you have to pay close enough the same amount to return your items, and you don't get any shipping charges either there or back refunded. If you want an exchange, you can have a free exchange, but if you want a full-on refund, you have to pay. So yeah, that for me is not great. However, on the plus side, very much like Veja, there are so many different stockists of this brand, and we're talking worldwide. So I'll leave a link down below for where you can find the stockist information. I bought these, as I said, off Net-a-Porter. I would definitely advise everyone go and find a stockist which has a much better shipping and returns policy. Okay, fifth and final brand is LOQ. It's an LA-based brand. So their shoes are designed in LA but made in Spain. Now, I've only had these for I think 4 days. I've yet to wear them, and there is a little bit of a backstory. So this brand was established, I believe, in about 2015. I started seeing LOQ on Instagram, which is where I spot a lot of my brands that I kind of start to invest in, and also Pinterest. And I spotted this brand, it kind of appeared on my radar around 2017. So a couple of years ago is when I started to see shoes from this brand. And I liked them. There were a few styles that I was like, yeah, I feel those. I quite like them. They looked like they were made out of super soft leather, which I can confirm. Yes, butter soft. But I didn't invest in any of them because I couldn't really find them in any UK stockists. I did not want to purchase them all the way from LA because I know there's going to be hefty customs charges, and actually when you're looking at the LOQ website, they don't include the customs or taxes in their checkout process, which is really annoying because then you just have to pay for them, and it's basically a surprise when the delivery comes at how much customs you have to pay. And that's a surprise I don't like. It's a bad kind of surprise. Anyway, as the years have gone by, it seems that LOQ has become a more and more popular brand, and they've now started being stocked in a few places. I believe Harvey Nichols stock them, but I purchased these in the sale recently, only a few days ago, last week, from My Teresa. And I know the colour is going to really throw you guys off, but I really trust my judgment these days. I think I've managed to refine my style and my taste to a degree that I trust it, and I know that I'm not really making mistakes anymore. I'm only buying things that I will actually wear. And yeah, I probably would have gone for these if they were available in a more safe colourway, like a nude or a grey or a black or even a navy. But I saw these and I was like, I actually really like those. Now, I first spotted this exact style I would say towards the beginning of this year, because these are the Spring Summer 19 collection, and I saw them, I thought, oh, they're over £300, I'm going to hold off for a little bit. But most recently, me and Simon were in Paris. We were at the Eurostar terminal coming home from Paris, and this Parisian woman walked in, and I have quite the obsession with Parisian women, especially if it's someone, the majority of them have impeccable style, but someone who really stands out. And she had these shoes on, and she looked awesome. She looked so awesome, and that spurred me on to finally making the purchase of these shoes. And I also wanted to just try the brand so that I could report back to you guys. Now, we've had builders in the house for the last few days, so I haven't been able to wear these because we haven't gone out. So I will report back to you guys on comfort factor, and of course you will see me styling these up on Instagram as well. So that is LOQ, which is my last brand. But I have a couple of other brands that I would like to try, and maybe if you guys have tried them out, I would like your advice on sizing and quality and what kind of styles to go for maybe. So the first brand is a brand called Meester. So they're a London-based brand. I have actually been into their store, which is in East London, and I've tried on some of their styles, but they didn't have the style that I wanted in the colourway and the size that I wanted. So they're London based but made in Spain, and they are synonymous with this kind of style of shoe. So you will have seen this a lot. These are by Mango. These are a cheeky little dupe that I purchased a couple of weeks ago, and it's this kind of natural sort of raffia effect. I think they also have some leather versions as well. These, I can confirm, I have worn these. These are really comfortable as well. I just have a feeling that they're not going to be as well made as the Meester ones, but this is the very sort of classic style of shoe that they are known for. So if anyone has tried Meester, you've had either a good or a bad experience, let me know, because they are on my radar and I will be purchasing very soon. Another brand is a French brand called Jonah, and I actually only discovered these a couple of weeks ago. I was on La Redoute and I was making a rather hefty order of linens and things for the bed, and I bought a cheeky couple of pairs of Levi's as well because they had this amazing discount code, so I had to take advantage of it. And whilst I was perusing through the women's section, I saw that they had this brand called Jonah, and there was a few styles that I liked, and I was like, oh, these look cool. So I thought I'll Google and have a look on Instagram. So I stalked their Instagram account and then had a look at their website, of which they're currently on sale, by the way. So there are some really good bargains to have. And I didn't know, there are a few styles that I've kind of got in my wish list. So I didn't know whether I should purchase now a couple of styles that are in the sale so that I can test them and let you guys know how I get on, or if I should wait for the new season collections to come out and go for more of like an autumn winter test. Again, if you've tried Jonah, if you love the brand, if you hate it, let me know your thoughts. Right guys, that is it. We have come to the end of another video. I fear Simon is going to tell me off for waffling again, but shoes are a big passion of mine. I love shoes so much. If you have got any questions or just any general comments, general chit chat, as per usual, leave them all down below in the comment section and I will get back to you ASAP. If you need any information or links, etc., they're all down below in that description box. And that's it from me for today. So I will catch you guys in next week's vlog, of which there's a couple of handbag unboxings. And one is a new beauty, which I have been looking for years, not as many years as a Celine box bag, but I've been looking for this bag for years, and it's going to be unboxed in next week's vlog on Tuesday. So I will see you then. Bye!